To me, this is a somewhat underpowered Mineski and a very underrated Kinguin. I think this is going to be the closest set we've seen so far.
Absolutely, yeah. Compared to some of yesterday's games, there's no doubt about it. These two teams certainly could have an edge on one another. As we get ourselves stuck into the action here as the game begins and gets underway. Mineski versus Kinguin come out on top, and talking about on top, looks like that's going to be the area of focus for the start, as both teams bring up heavy numbers here. Hard for each side really to get stuck in for a first blood attempt. Like both teams will simply keep themselves here and unlikely to run into one another. Mineski actually making the line to be drawn to head down and contest that bottom rune, as it seems, as realize that there's many heroes from Kinguin up top.
Laning-wise, I think Mineski is going to have a pretty decent edge, at least on the bottom lane, like Tai versus the Lycan. Lycan should get decent farm. At the same time, Tai is going to get absolute free farm, and he wouldn't really need to worry about getting killed by anything. And then the mid lane for Mushi, I think that's going to be the tough lane for Mineski. With the Bane coming in, it's going to be relatively rough. And then the safe lane for Mineski, that should be a pretty good one too. Timbersaw, I don't think he'll get stopped by Abaddon. So overall, I'm seeing Mineski able to win these lanes 2 out of 3. The problem is that because they have heroes like Tide and Timber, when you win the lane, you don't necessarily do a lot with it. Like when you win the lane, you just farm. Like you don't really, like, let's say, snowball to control. You don't really, you know, take 3 towers or anything like that. But we're gonna see a level 1 smoke gank here.
Let's see what Jabs and Ninja Boogie can get done with this. As, at the moment, this is the perfect lane to move to. It is just the Lycan on his own. You know, Exotic Deer totally on his own, expecting almost only this 1v1 to occur, but not for this sort of early smoke rotation to come in. And we'll see if they can catch him off guard. Is playing careful, Exotic Deer. He's keeping himself back and still try and dive him. No, they're going to be put off. So good positioning there from the Lycan. Exotic Deer realizes there's supports off the map, plays it safe, and will avoid that gank.
Yeah, level 1 ganks into Tide's lane has actually been done a lot because Tide's level 1 Gush is actually very powerful. I think it does, like, I want to say 130 damage at 1.
And a good slow as well.
Yeah, for only 90 mana, so very
lane. Mushi trying going onto out Lee Sash there, but will be fine. Nisha wards them off with Breathe Fire. Jabs and Mushi unable to get away with the dive. CS-wise in the mid lane, 6 for 3 on Nisha off these first few waves, 4 for 0 on Mushi. So slight edge here to the DK. Nisha doing a good job in this matchup, but did of course have that backup at the Bane. Jabs coming into the lane to help out Mushi a little later than Lishash.
Even though Mushi got enfeebled, the fact that he's got 4 creep pills is actually pretty impressive.
Still managing to make do with that 35 right click that he's reduced down to. Jabs it. He's going to get snowballed across by Katsaw, as Listash and Katsaw look to give him the rundown. Good sharp block as well. In fact,
nice.
Listash getting into position will set up for Katsaw to pick up first blood for Kinguin. Nice movement there from Katsaw coming down from the top lane, catching poor old Jabs off guard.
By the way, we are playing on the new patch. That's why when the snowball came in, we saw there's a little icon on top.
It's a nice icon. I like it. It's very, very fancy.
Also,
good job.
Courier gonna get sniped. Wait, canceling the auto attack.
He's getting it with that haste rune.
So one of the other new patch thing is that I think if you press Alt, you'll see everyone's TP.
That's a nice addition. I like that. It's going to be very good in pubs now, because now you can flame your supports if they don't TP to save you, because you know that they have it.
I see.
You can check it.
Well, here's
I
the thing.
see it. You got a TP, where are you?
Does it actually show if you don't even have a teleport scroll, though?
It does. I think it shows if you don't, see, if it's blacked out, that means you don't have it.
Well, in my pubs, it's all going to be blacked out.
No one's got the TP scroll.
It's not going to be a cooldown thing. It's just going to be, they just don't have it.
It shows you the cooldowns as well. Very advanced stuff here. Dota 2 in 2018.
We have the technology,
We do. It's stepping up. Mid lane. Quick grab from Jabs, just trying to disrupt the CS of Nisha. But he's still doing a cracking job. 16 for 4, 11 for 2. Still keeping that edge here in what has turned into a bit more of a 1v1 with Listash moving around. Top lane, how are we seeing on Patos? Patos, 19 for 1 on the Abaddon, 16 for 2. So this lane a bit of a wash. Looks like both for the cores getting pretty much free farm here.
Yeah.
Neither in threat of going down.
I'm actually really curious what kind of item the Abaddon will end up going. Normally when your team needs a little bit of damage, the Midas into Radiance is a pretty good build for Abaddon, but if you look at his teammates, like he's got the Lycan, he's got Dragon Eye, so damage shouldn't be an issue. At the same time, he's getting really good farm, so I feel like he can go for a farming build if he wants.
I think so far, looking at the sort of the laning for the cores, the only one sort of suffering is the Lycan down bottom. But at the same time, Ice, he not that far ahead. He's got a few more denies, but 15 last hits against the 12. Not too much of a difference down here between the two of them. So looks like both are doing a good job at trying to keep each other on their toes. Of course, with the extra denies, Ice does have a slight level advantage in these early days. Up top, Pados getting gone on. There's rotation coming in from Jabs and Ninja Boogie. Pados looking to be in a lot of trouble. We'll get the orthotic shield out. Don't know if that'll be quite enough. Again, this Whirling Death just taking down that base strength attribute of the Abaddon, making it that little easier to squash him in the lane.
So I do want to talk about that lane matchup a bit. Normally you say, look, there's a melee hero up against Timbersaw. Timbersaw should have the big advantage there, but you could Aphotic Shield off of that Whirling Death debuff. So you don't actually take that much damage from the nuke. But what ends up happening is that he has mana issues. And without the Soul Ring, which Patos does not have right now, then he really can't lane effectively. Until
look at this. Look how aggressive they're getting up top. As soon as he's back into the lane after they've killed him once, Jabs and Ninja Boogie are there ready to try and dive him again, bursting him down. They're really being able to punish that Abaddon with no sort of backup coming in from the rest of Kinguin. As he's got to be careful, and we'll see where he does decide to head out next. He does now have the Bane there, so with the backup of LD Sash, he'll feel a little safer coming into this top lane. But he's got to take the walk of shame after TPing back up before his death the last time round. So more space for Moon and Jabs to put a bit of pressure onto this tower. Get Moon close to that level 6 where his killing potential gets even greater on the Timbersaw.
This is actually a very important gank. Not only did they kill Patos twice, they've done it with the Siege Wave. And Moon was basically tanking the tower for a while with his reactive armor, level 3 I believe. So that Siege unit will be able to do at least like half the tower's HP. They won't get the tower off of it, but still like really good residual damage off of the two gank.
Bottom lane, Ice. Still with the slight edge as he is managing to get a fair few denies. 24 for 12 against the 22 for 3. So there's now that level 6 ready on Ice, and they're looking to dive onto Exotic Deer with the help of Ninja Boogie coming around. And Exotic Deer in a lot of trouble. No TP rotation coming through from the side of Kinguin as they will let their Lycan die. Exotic Deer to fall, and Ninja Boogie really, to be fair, the one to talk about. As he's the one that's been kicking off these rotations. This first night time, coming into the top lane twice, coming into the bottom lane, he's getting a lot of good action going the way of Mineski.
That bottom gank looked like pretty easy setup, but if you look at that play again, basically Night Stalker started running bottom before Tai was even level 6. So they coordinate that gank, knowing that Tai hits level 6 as soon as Ninja Boogie hits there. So the way I'm looking at this game is that Mineski is really outplaying Kinguin, and they're hitting all their proper timing. And there was no TP support from Kinguin because there is Ravage, right? You TP in there, not only do you not save Lycan, you also lose your secondary hero. So Mineski is just playing really well.
See here, Kinguin aware of the ward being dropped, as they do have the ward on the high ground, spotting out Ninja Boogie's movements up and down. So they've got some good info on the plays being attempted for by Mineski. And in fact, Kinguin, they're going to be the ones to try and find an opening. They go straight in across onto the Rubik, catching out Jabs as he just stand underneath their own vision. And getting the kill and protecting this mid lane. Nisha, top CS at the moment in the game, having a very solid time on the DK, and we'll see how Kinguin can sort of transition this into some early pushes. They have got this DK Lycan Abaddon push, which is incredibly potent. Mineski, they have the Exorcism on the Death Prophet, but other than that, they are going to be taking towers very quickly. They have to have the DP ult to push.
Tai Hunter might be in a little trouble, but here comes that Ice taunt. Might actually just die here, though.
He has got what? He's got the 6-1 charges. He's got one more Anchor Smash. He's making them work for it, but the pure damage of Brain Saps there from LD Sash. So Kinguin will claim the kill on Tide. Put an end to Ice's tomfoolery down on that bottom lane.
So a lot of conversation, at least on the panel, has been about 5-manning, but Mineski's got one of the best anti-5-man hero, which is the Tai Hunter, right? You try to push into the tower, Tai just walks in front of it. There's not much you can do. You can't really kill the Tai. Not even with Fiend's Grip. So.
No, absolutely not. And sure, you may have ways to deal with the Ravage, but you're still going to be standing next to a Tide that's going to get out multiple anchor smashes, gushes, and slowly sort of whittling your team down. Lane. Jaboogie just coming in to try and find some XP. Exotic Deer to push this one out. See DK top net worth at the moment, but straight behind him, Nisha, are the 3 cores of Mineski. Mineski still do have that 3k gold lead 9 minutes in. Ice and jabs with the smoke movement round, but it was scanned out. Yes, Kinguin are aware of this. See if they can do anything about it. LD Sash looks like he's going to be one to tank this. They move straight in onto the Bane, but the rest of Kinguin will get out of there. Exorcism popped by Mushi, so Mineski will have a good shot at taking down this mid lane tier 1 tower, which we have seen be so important in games recently. This early control around the middle lane has led to a lot of victories. I'm not quite sure on the exact statistic, but taking that first tier 1 mid has been a very, very common occurrence in victorious teams.
Yeah. So one of the conversation on the panel was saying that Mineski's cooldown are very long, and indeed they are, with the Ravage, with the Exorcism. And Mineski came with the heroes intending to use all their ultimates if they had to, but because they still retained the TIE ultimate, then Mineski could still make aggressive play or defend their tower, whatever the case would be. So right now, even though Mineski's got the quote-unquote the long cooldown ultimates, I feel like they're playing the map very well, and I think they're ahead because of it.
Free pick off Phoenicia in the mid lane as they find out jabs and Katsul, and did have to put the Elder Dragon form for it. We'll see if he's able to get some pressure onto that tier 1 tower with that, as he does start to push. Ninja Boogie moving around under the cover of Invis. See where he looks to head. Well, they are going to bring the Rubik as well. Maybe seeing if they can catch out Nisha. Nisha trying to go over the TP out, but Ninja Boogie is going to be there, revealing himself from the Invis rune, cancelling the TP with a Void. So Nisha's going to be kept mid. Nisha tries to turn top lane. Look at that Ravage though from Ice, catching out 3. He'll pay with his life. Moon able to finish off the Tusk. We'll see if Moon can get anything more out of this as he continues to chase mid lane as well. Mushi diving towers, looking for Nisha. Turns around with the Dragon Tail, holds back the Death Prophet. Exotic Deer coming in from the top with the Shapeshift, looking for Ninja Boogie. Will find the Night Stalker. We'll see if he can get anything more out of this. He's looking towards Mushi. It's a hard kill for him to get on his own, and he does need backup. Bane is around. Mushi level 9 will back away. 20 seconds until the Exorcism is back there for Mushi.
Very good play by Kinguin. They got the Ravage out. It was a 1-for-1 trade, but you basically made them waste Ravage for a kill, essentially. And then they also got a pick off in the mid lane while saving the Dragon Knight. So there is a long window of opportunity here for Kinguin to actually make something happen.
He's got 8 seconds into that borrowed time, and that's going to be 8 seconds too long as Mineski catching out the offlaner. Nisha can push in, but it will be a slow one.
Yep.
Dragon form not quite back. We'll have it in 15 seconds. We'll see if he's able to stick his ground here in the mid lane and commit with it. And as you say, you know, Mineski without that Ravage, a little harder for them to hold the defenses on these early tower pushes. But looks like they'll try. Mushi's coming in, ready to commit for this one. The Exorcism is already out. The shard, very nice. I mean, absolutely perfect there from Katsul.
That's a wasted Exorcism, and now immediately Kinguin smokes up, and they will probably go top. Like, it's just perfectly played by Kinguin.
Well, yeah, we've seen that from some of the Tusks. They sort of have these bottleneck points just down to a T. They know exactly where to throw the shards. Any sort of stairs on the map, they'll get it perfectly blocked off. And Katsul showing us that he is one that he's done his homework. He knows how to block those routes.
That is the downside of making smoke ganks at nighttime. Your smoke will pop, but not before you get into vision range of people. And, you know, away.
On lane, Ninja Boogie jabs, and Ice ready to make it go onto this Abad, and he does have borrowed time here. So there will be a second chance for Pados. We'll see Mineski still continue to dive though. TPs are going to come in. Kinguin, they've sent Katsul forward, but Mineski, they have 5 heroes chasing down this Abaddon. They're committing heavy to this one, and they should get Katsul as well as Moon finds him in the tree line. A little unnecessary for the Tusk to TP in there as the 5 heroes clean him up. At the same time though, Kinguin, they are getting away with the push up on the top lane. They've found the tier 1 tower. With the Elder Dragon form, they'll move on to the tier 2 as well. Mineski will be able to look for the trade with their full lineup down bottom. They are putting the pressure onto this tier 2 down on the bottom, so it should be a 1-for-1. It's going to go a little quicker down though on this bottom half. So Mineski, are they able to defend top? Oh, nah, it's too fast. Yeah, with a Hellbear, smash that attack speed aura and such, adding up with the Lycan DK push. So tier 2 for tier 2 trade. The trades continue. Mineski are still maintaining this 4k lead. but Kinguin's certainly finding stuff across the map.
It's a good trade for Mineski because they were able to get that tower trade when they didn't even have their ultimate, Exorcism being down. And you're trading against a team that pushes better, and you're still keeping even even though they push better. So I think Mineski is just getting a little bit more out of the map. So I know that we have a new patch, and one of the things that we've gotten in the new patch is that Roshan now has a status resistance.
Yeah.
Which is going to be important for Medallion of Courage. You now can no longer keep Medallion on him permanently, because Medallion, how he used to work is that it's a 7-second cooldown, it's a 7-second debuff. But now the 25% status resistance means you can't perma Medallion him, which means it matters for every single game, because every single game you Medallion take Roche. And I do wonder who's going to be buying the Medallion for either team.
Yeah, with the Exorcism, certainly still very strong for Mineski's lineup, and same to be said for that of Kinguin's, but Mineski ready to go. Up to the top lane, they've got their eyes on Katso. Katso does have the high ground, so well aware of this movement straight towards him. He's looking to get himself back. Pados heads in, but the two-man silence from Mushi, meaning that the Abaddon can't throw much in at all to help out Katso, and Kinguin have to bail on him. They let the Tusk go down. Again, this is Exorcism committed. Roshan is there, though. Mineski, it looks like they may just try and get the use of the Exorcism out by taking down Roshan. We'll see if Kinguin want to contest this.
They will, because I think they're going to wait till the Exorcism run low and then take a fight before Roshan goes down. But here's the tough thing. They're fighting into Ravage. I'm not sure if they have the tools. They don't have the BKB on the cores yet. They're really relying on this Abaddon to purge people off.
I mean, he's going in. Patos just runs in straight away. Nisha on the sidelines. They've got the Fiend's Grip onto Mushi. They're going straight away onto their proper. There's the Ravage coming out onto 4. The Bane's already fallen down. Moon, he's out to the sideline. Nisha turning towards Ice. Exotic Deer gets the shapeshift down in time. Goes back in onto Jab from the backline, but they just can't get the damage out, Kinguin. They have to run away. Nisha and Pados getting split apart. They've got the silence of the Abaddon. Good sharp block from Katso, will mean that Pados gets himself back to safety. They're even thinking about trying to turn. They look towards Jabs. Can't quite close the gap there with the snowball. So Jabs will be fine to run himself back up to the high ground, back to safety. Roshan is still up. So Kinguin will continue to try and hold on to this. And as bad as that looked in terms of getting caught out by the Ravage, they did manage to keep the majority of their team alive, and they did stop Mineski from getting the Roshan. So not a big disaster at all for Kinguin.
That was great for Kinguin.
Yeah.
I think they lost one hero throughout all of that. And that was fighting into Exorcism, into Ravage. And you prevented the most important thing. Like
they only lost the Bane. Yeah. I mean, it's Katso again. Again, these shards just blocking off entire routes.
Yes.
Making it very hard for Mineski to play around. And what do you do about that? I guess 4 stars down the line is an answer. But the Tusk play has been very impressive.
Had Mushi didn't use his Ravage at the beginning of the fight, like if he held it in the middle of the Roche. Sorry, what I meant was if the Exorcism was not used so early, because they use it and they're like, oh, we have to do something with it, let's walk into Roche, right? If they just walked into Roche, they would have actually had a much better chance, because the Exorcism just ran out in the middle of the fight. So
now the thing is, though, I mean, Kinguin is still hovering around the pit. They are going to look to try and take it themselves. They don't. Neither team really takes it that fast.
I mean, Lycan does.
I guess, yeah, it's faster than even with the Exorcism. Yeah. But, I mean, there's still time for Mineski to definitely have a look.
But they don't have Ravage. They don't have...
It's hard, that's for sure. Let's see if they're able to do it. Snowball's already onto Ninja Boogie. The Roshan's down. Aegis has not been picked up. Who's going to grab it? Nisha will manage to find it. Pados teaming himself out after the borrowed time. They've taken down Mushi. Kinguin looking for more. Turning their attention towards Ninja Boogie. The Aphotic Shield from Katso comes out. Katso will go down. Jabs falls low. Exotic Deer with a double kill. Turning their attention now towards Ice. Exotic Deer shape-shifted. They've got the Dragon Tail Stone onto Ice. He's able to crack and shell it off. Turning back towards Alicia with the Anchor Smash. But the Aphotic Shield's out from Pados. The Miscoil as well, keeping this Bane alive as Exotic Deer and Elise has chased down Ice. They've taken down 3. The Chakram comes through from the Timber Chain, but again, the Miscoil from Pados, keeping his teammates alive. Moon has to get out as he's out of mana. As Kinguin taking Roshan, Mineski unable to fully put a stop to it. And Kinguin certainly closing this lead that Mineski did have with these sort of plays, getting these kills, and showing some very impressive teamwork and coordination as they keep one another alive. And as you said, without the Ravage, I believe the Exorcism did come out then, but again, they just focused Mushi. They took him out at the start of the fight, and suddenly without those 2 team fight ultimates being there for Mineski, the fight gets so much harder for them.
I mean, that is the fear that the panel talked about. You have very long cooldowns. Smart teams will take advantage of it, and that's exactly what we saw Kinguin did.
Katsu. Lane buying time with the snow, but in fact, Mushi, he's quite far out on his own. At least is there with the Nightmare, doesn't quite have Fiend's Grip back up. So they'll even be. Elise always backing up Nisha though. He wants to get involved and get some vision in terms of scouting out this area with his Shadow Blade, see what he can find. And Jabugi's there. So is Moon, Jabs, and Ice. This is someone that Kinguin had to be very careful about taking the fight. They do, of course, have the Aegis on the DK. At least as she looks for the Fiend's Grip onto Mushi. He's got the setup for the Snowball. They close the gap. Kinguin, can they kill Mushi in time? Walrus Punch. They have the Necro Army out. Mushi tries to the Ravage from Ice. Can they keep the team alive? They can't. They've lost the Bane. Silence comes down onto 2. This Lycan falling very low. He can't get out of their Moon with the double kill. Pados trying to turn towards Jabs. Takes down the Rubik. But Kinguin, they've got to back up. Nisha, he's falling low. The Aegis almost certainly going to pop once. Can Pados and Katsu do anything to get him out? We need some godly shards here from Katsu. He's going to try his best. Out they come, but they're not going to block off the team at all. Doesn't matter though by the looks of it, because Mineski, they don't have detection. Nisha just able to Shadow Blade himself out of there. TP is attempted by the Tusk. Katsu not going to be able to get out in time as the damage is too much. But they do keep Nisha alive as he is able to walk out of that. But this is always going to be the problem. When that Ravage is there, it's very hard for them to make a play. The Ravage, despite any way that the Abaddon can look to try and counterplay, is always going to buy time for Moon to set up the perfect combo on the Timbersaw and get a lot of damage out in these team fights.
Well, I think they win that team fight because Mushi played it exceptionally. So
the silences,
yeah. Basically, he silenced Abaddon after he used his ultimate before he could shield anybody off. So yes, you can use your ultimate and get the stun off of yourself. But it doesn't matter because the rest of your team is still stunned, and that's exactly what happened. Very good key silence on point.
Oh, look at this though, Nisha. He's found Mushi just outside of the tower range. They send in the Centaur. They've got the perma-stun holding him in place. They take down Mushi. See if they can find anything more. Ninja Boogie has got eyes on Tail Lisash from the Invis. The push is coming in, and it's a push that we talked about being incredibly strong from Kinguin's lineup. No Mushi for 45 seconds for this hold, so Kinguin will at least get the tier 1 tower. We'll see if they want to try and push on for a second one.
Oh yeah, I mean, 36 seconds without DP, right?
Yeah.
This is the part
and no
of the
Ravage.
Game. Yeah, this is the part of the game where they're like, look, you use your ultimates, we're going to just fight into you regardless.
It's going to try and hold for the defense. They go in with the silence onto the Lycan, backing up already. The Chakram comes out onto 3. Moon surrounding Pados. Pados pops the borrowed time. Buying time for his team to get out, but Elisash, he turns. He has the Fiend's Grip. It does get cancelled straight away. They manage to hold this fort as they're looking to this DK, but again, the Shadow Blade from Nisha gets him down to the side, does get caught out by the dust. Moon cuts his way for the tree line. They have found the Dragon. Oh, have they? No, the dust is going to wear out. He gets himself out of range of Sentry, and they don't have any further vision. He goes for the TP, but oh, they do find him with the Void for the Night Stalker. They have that high ground ward, being able to spot Nisha in the tree line. So Nisha will still go down despite its best attempts to juke out of the range of Mineski's detection.
Yeah, no, the dust didn't wear out. They actually put a Aphotic Shield on him, which purged off the dust. So he was able to keep running. They dropped the Sentry, he ran out of that. But unfortunately, I think the Shadow Blade ended at that point. So.
It did, yeah, it was getting close, so he had to go for that TP play. But yeah, the high ground ward, which was pinged out immediately, of course. And Kinguin will at least know that that ward does stand there.
We're seeing some like really high caliber plays where both teams are looking to punish each other very hard. At each other's moments of weaknesses.
And we are certainly seeing what was sort of talked about as well earlier, the fact that Moon is playing against these full strength heroes. He does a lot of damage in these fights. This Timbersaw can be absolutely enabled to go ham with the setup, the control from the stuns and silences from his teammates.
And look at the way that he's building, right? He's going to get a Crimson Guard next, so you can't really ignore him because he does a ton of damage, but you can't really kill him either because he's so tanky and he's going to protect his teammates. And of course, something that we saw out of Team Liquid yesterday is that one thing that the more experienced team are better at doing is just keeping up a net worth lead. They're just better at stacking, being more efficient at farming. Look at the net worth. Like, the kill is very close. The tower count is very close. But Mineski is a team that's able to get more out of the map, despite the fact that Kinguin, I think, was able to last at the Roshan earlier.
We'll see what the next play is for Mineski. Maybe talking about the Roche, they may just look to try and wait for it. Realize that they do have speed at the moment. Still quite a bit of time until the Roche is back there. Gems being picked up for both sides, in fact, as they'll look to try and maintain map control. Scan from Mineski catches out Kinguin inside Kinguin's own jungle, so Mineski know they're pretty safe to keep themselves split up as they are, with Moon pushing out top lane. Size down bottom. Whilst the rest of the other three stick around the mid lane.
Here's the thing, despite Mineski having a 6k lead, I don't think they could really just sit pretty, because once the double BKB comes out from the Dragon Knight and the Lycan, I think that's where Kinguin is going to just be much, much stronger than Mineski. Then Mineski at that point on needs to like just wait for the BKBs to just scale down. That means they will lose teamfight for the next, 10 to 15 minutes. So this 6k lead, they need to ride it out for a while. They need to get whatever they can before those BKBs.
Katzo down bottom, not gonna get himself out as the Yule Scepter's there to cancel the TP. He's got the snowball and does have the shards, trying to slow down Mineski on this chase, but Chaps will be there, closing the gap with the telekinesis and cutting Katzo down. Ice gets the kill. Mineski now in position to shove this bottom lane out.
That is a Yule's on a Rubik. That is a farm Rubik.
We'll see what the play is now for Kinguin. At the least, it'll almost certainly just be wait. They have the full 5-man before they try and tackle Mineski.
Yeah, Mineski gonna just go hard for this one push and see if they could get a Rax, because they know the BKB timing is gonna be rough for them in the next couple of minutes.
I mean, Moon coming in from the sidelines. Moon still yet to have died this game. He's 606 on the Timbersaw. Pretty indestructible. Just look at the burst damage that he can nail down onto the Abaddon, keeping Pados at bay. They'll pop the fortification, Kinguin, but Mineski knocking on the doors, taking this tier 3 tower from right underneath the noses of Kinguin.
They just can't stop the Timbersaw. Look at him. He's just sitting in front.
He's just absolutely sitting there. There's a Walrus Punch coming through. It does hardly any damage at all. He's just got too much armor with the reactive armor stacks building up. There's going to be a snowball attempted for by Katzo as he goes straight in on side, but he's got to get himself surely back out. Ravage comes through onto 4 heroes as they lose Katzo. Nisha taken down as well. Exotic Deer is trying to get to the backlines, but jabs with the self-heals, keeps him safe from the Necro army. And they just can't take the fights against Mineski when they do have the Ravage there. Just the Ravage and the damage this Timbersaw pick is going absolutely crazy this game.
Well, Ravage is down now, no Exorcism, so they right-click the buildings. They will actually take it down eventually because you're down 2 heroes. Yeah. And again, they just don't have an answer for this Timbersaw.
He can just dive near the towers. He's got all the armor in the world. The Bloodstone charge is starting to add up. They just can't deal with the Timber.
Yeah.
It's pretty impossible.
That's going to be the 1 Rax. All right, we really need to check the BKB timings now on the Radiant Force. How close are they?
On the Lycan, he was trying to build towards the AC. He's okay now. He has changed it up. Yeah, queuing up the BKB and Nisha as well. Still a little while off it.
They're both about 2k away, and the Radiance on Abaddon is I think about 1 to 2k away as well. Once they have those trifecta of the double BKB and the Radiance, actually the Radiance is very far away.
It's about 3k now. Yeah.
Then I think that's where Kinguin will be stronger than Mineski, but how much damage would they have sustained by then? That's going to be the ultimate question. Yeah,
Mineski's doing a good job of stepping the pressure up, and 27 minutes being able to take that bottom Rax. Looking back towards Roshan now as his backup. Exotic Deer does find a DD rune, and as you say, again, it's this timing. There's no Ravage. They are going to try for it. Moon is there though. Can they stop this Timbersaw being too much of a nuisance? That's the question, because we know that Moon can just sort of go in and out of the pit without any fear in the world. And now with the Exorcism, they're ready to move. Silencing straight away. Pados able to remove it. Gets the heal out onto the DK. You have the Wolf. Exotic Deer just running himself out of this one. Pados is going to be focused. Post-borrow time. Mineski are able to take him down. He's gone for 50 seconds. Mineski themselves moving into the pit with the remainder of the Exorcism. And I think Kinguin are just going to have to let this Roche go. I don't know how they can get involved in this pit at all. They've got the sidelines being watched by Katzo and Alisa, but no real way of jumping into the pit. Mineski able to grab the Aegis, get it onto Moon. I mean, they weren't having trouble already of trying to kill this Timber once. Now they've got to try and do it twice. Moon, 17,500 net worth. And a completed Assault Cuirass on him as well. So just adding to the pushing potential and that defensive potential of himself as he sits on around the 50 armor mark once he's got this reactive armor stacks building up.
It is ironic that Timber is the one that got the Aegis, because honestly he doesn't need it. But at the same time, if you look at the heroes in this game, none of them are really good Aegis holders, right? Like for Radiant, Lycan, Dragon Knight, they're pretty awkward with the way that their ultimates function.
Yeah, they're both these sort of morphing carries.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, same thing with DP and High, right? You don't, those heroes don't really need or want Aegis. So they give the cheese to Mushi, and now Moon really, like, Moon could just walk into the tier 4s and have no care in the world.
I mean, Mineski could have probably denied the Aegis at this stage and still been pretty confident, as I think just as we're seeing just the hero, the draft that Mineski have is, it feels like it is literally impossible for Kinguin's heroes to deal with at this stage. It's
at this point, because they've just taken advantage of timing so well.
Yeah.
And now with a new patch, the towers break down ever so slowly.
Look at that. Attention to detail.
Yeah.
Very, very pretty. Yeah, I mean, as we said, Kinguin definitely, they had a plan this game, and it just didn't come to fruition quick enough. They couldn't quite get the ball rolling as early as they needed to. And I mean, as you mentioned earlier on, you know, they were taking towers, but so were Mineski. They were never sort of playing the game at the tempo that needed to be a little ahead of Mineski's lineup. Mineski were able to keep up and now very much keep themselves ahead, as 30 minutes in, they're looking to push in onto this second set of racks. If Kinguin can do anything to stop this, Exorcism's out from Mushi. Pados on the side being forced back by Moon. As Mineski just far too strong at this stage for sure. I mean, Nisha and Exotic Deer, they're going to give it a go. They're heading in with the ultimates. They're looking towards Mushi, popping the BKBs. This is the BKB fight you talked about, Lumi. Let's see if it's enough. Straight in onto Mushi, knocking him up into the air, but the armor's too high, and indeed he does still have that cheese ready to pop. Just keeping himself alive for now with the Yule Scepter. There's the Ravage coming through from Eyesight Side, catches out on 3. The BKBs have worn off. Exotic Deer to fall down for 55 seconds. Pados is down as well, and GG is indeed called as Kinguin forced to tap out of this game 1. As Mineski showing up in real style. They had this draft, Moon ending godlike. I mean, the Timbersaw, it really was. That final pick, Timbersaw, was just so perfect for Mineski's lineup because there was just no way for Kinguin to deal with it.